Hello, welcome to another dev vlog for a game I'm calling Project Caribou. If you're new here, the game is basically going to be the player playing as a guardian, a sort of forest dryad with otherworldly skills, and this guardian takes care of a small tundra village that is routinely attacked by monsters. So a lot of the game will be gathering resources, collecting things for the people in town, and then fending off those attacks. This week I didn't really do a proper life vlog type thing, so I just pieced together some footage of different things that I got done last week, and I'm going to talk about them. The first is the inventory, pretty much the rest of the inventory system. I had some of the code done last week, but this week I finished the UI, I finished all the interface stuff, I made some very cheap icons just as placeholders. So as you can see here, the inventory is a pretty simple interface. It has a number of slots and some of them have items in them. I've put 2 in this one, both very cheaply made placeholder items. You can open and close the inventory at will. Currently I've bound it to the I key, but we can rebind all of these later. And then every item you have the option to either use or drop it. And actually not every item, some items are not usable. And currently none of them do anything when you use them right now, so technically none of them are usable. If you drop an item on the ground, you can then pick it up. The animation for this is long and actually intended for something else, so I'll replace that later. And actually, while I was testing this, I found a couple of bugs. The way I set up my items is not ideal, and I need to figure out a way to fix it. Because what I'm getting is an item points to like a reference of a different item, and so you drop it, you pick it up, you get something else. I'm gonna fix it. It's okay. Another thing I did this past week was add some tests and work in the NUnit framework to actually test my Unity stuff. So I've slowly been building up tests for the code I've written so far. Gosh, this is gonna be a real short video, isn't it? The truth is, I did a lot of work this week, but I can explain it pretty quickly. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday were spent working on the various pieces of the inventory, fixing bugs, getting all the different things working together correctly, and also with the code I wrote last week. Thursday was spent adding the ability to pick items up off the ground, and I also fixed the NPC characters rig on that day. Last week I mentioned they were kind of messed up, so I fixed them, and now I'm gonna leave them alone for a while because it was such a pain. It was such a pain to fix them. And Friday, a similar thing, a little different. We added the code to harvest the berry bush here, and the highlight that you can see in the video is actually from next week. I'm filming this a little bit late. As I mentioned, I didn't really do any vlog footage as I went, so I'm catching up. And Friday was getting the berry bush to actually give you berries when you harvest it, and the bush's stock of berries goes down and then replenishes itself over time. And as you can also see, I've added a clock in the top right. I still need to work out scaling for the time in the game. It's pretty slow. I think it might actually be real time. And I want it to be going much faster, but not to affect the various animations and things that are happening. So I need to tweak that. The clock is actually some code I wrote a very long time ago and imported, so it needs a little bit of work. And then Saturday, we had a lot of fun on Saturday. I worked on a tomato plant 3D model that I ended up scrapping and redoing the next day. But we made up a tomato plant model, and then we wrote the code to grow this model in game time. When I redid the tomato plant, I made them a lot more sleek, but basically I used blend shapes, which are like morph targets or shape keys. They're called a lot of different things in different software, but it's just another way to animate something by defining a different shape for it. And we use this to animate the growth of our tomato plant. and connect that all up to the game time so that the animation basically is just playing in very slow motion. And for our testing purposes here, we've made it go very fast, but in the game it will be so slow that you can't really see it happening, except maybe if you have like a spell that will add a bunch of growth to it very quickly. That might be fun to do. And finally, Sunday, like I mentioned, I redid the tomato plant, so it just looks much better. I realized I didn't want such a realistic look for the plants in this game. I wanted it to be more stylized, so I made the leaves very big, I made the tomatoes very big, and just sort of exaggerated the shapes of the plant. So there's only a few leaves and a few tomatoes, but they look, I don't know, they just look more fun, I guess. So we still need some tests for things. There's still some weird stuff, as you saw with the inventory, but overall I'm really happy with my progress. I have most of an inventory system ready to go. That's really the bulk of a lot of games, is being able to collect items and do things with them. And then we have a lot of the farming system done. Really we just need to add the ability to plant things into the garden boxes and sort of manage that. And that's really the last piece. And then we will need to be able to water them, to use spells on them to make them grow. But other than that, like we really have a lot of the farming system done in just a couple of days. It's really been so helpful for me to make these vlogs, not just because it's fun to show people what I'm working on, but because it reminds me everything I've done in the past week, and it kind of blows my mind. Ever since this game project has become a priority for me, just how quickly I can do it. It feels great to be able to do something and see progress on it. So if you have a similar project where you just can't get going, I would recommend, well, first of all, I would recommend making some sort of commitment about committing to that project. That's what I did. I'm working on this every day for 30 days, and I'm doing it live on stream so people can see if I don't do it. And like, seriously, it has helped me so much. And I actually wrote a Medium article about, you know, how I've been so productive and how I think, like what I think my brain is doing that's making this work when other projects have not worked. So I'll link that below if you want to check it out. But that's really gonna be it for this video. Sorry it was just a computer screen share. I'm trying to be better about filming me and the things I'm doing and just sort of the life that surrounds the game development. But it's just another thing I have to remember to do. And I've been so busy lately, so I'm doing my best. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. You know, the support I get from you guys. It really means a lot to me. If you want to catch me live, I am on twitch.tv/Savallion, Saballion. And if you happen to catch me live and you have like questions about stuff, feel free to ask. If I know the answer, I will try to explain it, and if I don't, maybe we can learn something together. But that's gonna be it for this probably very short vlog. Hopefully next week's will be a little bit meatier. We're coming up on the end of the month though, so we'll see if I decide to continue the weekly vlogs or if I do something else. But so far I'm having fun, so I might continue these. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll be back soon. I've also got my next Plan With Me video that I've got to work on for, oh my gosh, July. So that will go up at some point as well. And I hope to see you there. Thanks again. I hope you have a good day. Goodbye.